December 2017, a team of 13 people from 5 states came together with one goal: to take the message of hope and love through a relationship with God to the people of the Transylvania region of Romania. Some of us were veteran travelers to Romania, while others were first-timers. There was a great blend of experience and newbie wonder and excitement. With the money donated for the purchase of staple food items, we bought pasta, rice, cornmeal, flour, cooking oil, grits, canned peas and meat, tomato paste, sugar, and cookies, and hygiene items such as toothpaste, shampoo, and soap. Additionally, we carried in our luggage toothbrushes and hats, gloves, scarves, and socks for distribution to the people to whom we ministered. Each evening, we assembled the items needed for the ministry the following day. Our first stop was the Royal Kids Learning Center in Cluj, a faith-based preschool operated by our host, the Kalia Adevara Lui Foundation. Here, 24 children are taught basic reading, math, and geography skills and English through a curriculum centered around character building. We carried with us packets of school supplies for the children and the teachers, which a homeschool group in Jacksonville, Florida had assembled. The children's eyes lit up as they were handed these bags. As the parents, some of whom are not Christ followers, came to pick up their children, they were surprised and amazed that we had provided food and hygiene packets for their families. For this, they thanked us repeatedly. After lunch, we went to the Casa Hermina elderly care facility. After giving an evangelistic message to the assembled residents, we helped them create Christmas decorations as a craft and spent time listening to their stories. We provided them with a supply of staple food and fruit. The senior adult pastor of our church had sewn lap blankets, which he donated, and we were able to give one to each of the 56 residents. There were 10 residents who were bedridden, and the team split up and visited them in their rooms. The next day we went to the city of Alba Iulia, where, in the year 1600, 3 principalities, Moldavia, Transylvania, and Wallachia, joined together to become Romania. We toured the fortress and prayed for the nation in the room where the agreement was signed. Then it was on to Ritsa Gagaritsa Foster Care Facility. Here, 22 abandoned children, some of them siblings, have found a family with the 11 staff members and each other. An evangelistic message was given, along with team member testimonies and songs. We distributed Christmas stockings provided by a team member, which were filled with candy, fruit, and gifts. As the day waned, games broke out in the courtyard. We traveled back to Cluj, again leaving behind a supply of food and fruit. On Saturday, we traveled to the village of Garbau. The elder of a local church asked us to bring an evangelistic message to the community. In attendance were the 15 families from the church, the mayor and another 87 families of Garbau, and 20 families from a neighboring village. While the message and songs were being presented, backstage all the fruit and food bags, candy, and clothing were being organized. Then the distribution was conducted. We were pleasantly surprised how a crowd this size waited so patiently and responded with smiles and thank yous when their names were finally called. On Sunday morning, we traveled more than 2 hours over the mountains to the village of Siacodiș in the Maramureș Judicial District for church service. As we arrived at the church, we could hear beautiful music being played. The building was packed with most of the 73 church families, along with about 10 guest families in attendance. We presented a message about the lost sheep for the children, complete with our own shepherd. David shared a message about using the tools God has given us to minister to the needs of others and to help bring them into a relationship with God. Bibles provided by the ladies of a church in Fort McCoy, Florida, were given to the pastor to distribute to those who needed one. As the families left the building after the service, the food and clothing were distributed. After lunch, we divided the team and visited church members who were housebound due to sickness. One of the homes where we went was that of an elderly man who had been a preacher in his earlier years. We asked him to tell us of God's faithfulness. This opened a floodgate of praise to the God he loves. In another home was an elderly woman. She told us that all her children had moved away and she was dependent on others for everything. We prayed for her to have the peace of the Lord and for her health to improve. We concluded our week of ministry at the St. Mary Daycare Center, which we lovingly call the Miracle House. This is a daycare facility for emotionally and mentally challenged adults. They wait for us each year and spend weeks practicing their drama, skits, and music. Excitement filled the air as they prepared the stage for their rendition of Moses leading the children of Israel across the Red Sea. In all, God enabled us to meet many of the needs of 2,160 people.